Hi everyone and welcome to our presentation. I'm Dr. Amy Goode and along with Dr. Stephanie Anderson, we are both lecturers in marketing at the Adam Smith Business School. And in our presentation today, we're going to talk about our experience of integrating third-party digital marketing certifications into our courses. So the background to this piece of research is that these certifications are becoming really popular within the domain of digital marketing. And a lot of these platforms they offer students the chance to train with their software and to learn more about it and, prepare for the graduate workforce. And if we look at the literature, we see that the learning and assessment within digital marketing and across the wider educational landscape, it should be reflective of the digital marketing environment and the fact that it's very evolutionary, it's constantly changing, and it's very technologically focused. So we're seeing a lot of these third-party certifications offered by a number of different platforms and technology, some of which you'll be familiar with. And the reason we include these is to help our students with employability and prepare them for being part of the digital marketing workforce. Based on our experience with these certifications, we propose some guidelines to address some of the concerns, and we hope to offer some practical solutions within this presentation. So there are a number of different types of certifications out there. There are three key categories. The first is knowledge-based, where we see students trained in a particular part of digital marketing. So we see that in HubSpot, who offer things like content marketing, social media marketing, and they're more broad factors. Then we see platform-based certifications. So Google has their own training academy. We've got Snapchat and Twitter. They also offer certificates. And then we've got tool-based ones, and we see them more for things like search engine optimization, things like Hootsuite and SEMrush. So there are a number of different types there. And some of the categories we see, you've got Google there, Hootsuite and HubSpot. The link that I'll share at the end of this presentation shows you a number of different categories that we have. But the one we are most experienced with is HubSpot, and HubSpot is great in working with academics. They have their own educational platform, and you have a lot of control as an educator. So this is a screenshot for what it might look like if you take this training platform on. So the teacher's up here, and then you can list all your students and see how they progress through the certifications. And those little icons reflect the number of different certificates that students can complete. So you can monitor their success. HubSpot, the way that students learn is they watch some short videos, they fill in practice tests, and then they complete an exam at the end of the curriculum. Now, the exam is timed. They get 5 attempts to pass. The pass mark is 75%. If they don't complete within the 5 attempts, then they have to wait 30 days before they can try again. So HubSpot does carefully consider and they do try and treat it like a proper educational certificate. And the certificate is active for 2 years, so they are accredited in HubSpot training for 2 years. And a lot of organisations use the HubSpot software. So when students graduate, if they decide to go into digital marketing, then they are able to use their skills here. And they're transferable skills too. So a lot of it uses things from Google, things from social media platforms into their curriculum. How they're used, now this is based on our experience working in digital marketing. This is how we see educators integrate their certificates within the curriculum. The first scenario we see is that as a compulsory component, they pass the certificate, but it doesn't give a contribution to grade. Another way is a compulsory component with a grade percentage. So a pass equates to 5% or 10% of their final grade. Or the last one, which is what we use at the moment, is students are advised to complete to enhance their CV as upcoming graduates. So it doesn't have any contribution to their final grade. So how do we ensure best practice when we integrate these certificates? I mean, it's identifying the right one, the right fit. So by mapping your certificate and the outcomes onto your learning outcomes can ensure that alignment and get the best value of your certificate. These certificates have their own learning outcomes, so you're able to see how they can impact your students. The way we've used it in the past is we've integrated some of the key lessons from the certificate and ensured that that becomes part of their written work or any oral presentations. And keeping track of our students, so looking at our students before well, after they graduate and see how it's benefited them in the long run. Now, my teaching experience in digital marketing has been with honours students. So we do see them leaving the world, leaving education and moving into the world of work. And we can see firsthand and relate to them and liaise with them to see how that certificate's benefited them and indeed the course. But how do we ensure best practice? So, as well as these strong alumni relationships, we've got to think about accessibility and inclusion. So, how can students access these certificates? So, Keith Kessenberry, who's used these a lot and written on this topic a lot, notes that the free cases, the free certificates are the ones that avoid any exclusion. Um, Student feedback on our courses has suggested that the resource has been invaluable, not only for the ones that have just completed the course, but the ones entering the workforce. And I think one thing we've found is that as long as you clearly outline the benefit and the value of the certificate, students completely buy in, and they see the value of the certificate. But this comes with its challenges, using something that's outside of the university. There are a couple of issues that we've found. Firstly, operational challenges that can inhibit your use of the certificate, and poor academic or student practice. So the first one, we found that because this is constantly evolving, platforms and certificates get updated regularly. And if you've got this as part of your grade percentage, then that can be a real challenge. We had HubSpot take the certificate down for a couple of weeks during the course, and then they reintroduced it with a completely different exam. The second challenge we've come across is cheating. A lot of students will take the questions and post them on the internet. So you can complete the exam very quickly just by doing a simple Google search. So these are the two challenges we've found. But how do we get round these? We can be proactive. We can do the exam before the students do and do these searches and see if we can see any potential students misconduct. HubSpot has a great team in their educational partnership, so you can work with them, let them know that cheating's going on. When we've seen the software updates, the Facebook group, social media professors, they offer really helpful solutions. So if something is being updated, they say, well, what have you thought about this? So that's been really helpful. But the things that we recommend before embarking on a new semester, continuing close conversations with the platform representations, membership of like-minded individuals, so other academics that are using this stuff, and engaging with your student population. Perhaps HubSpot's not useful anymore. Perhaps the world of work looks very different and we should seek alternatives. So that's our whistle-stop tour of online certifications and some of the challenges that we've had in embedding these within our teaching. We welcome any questions and we thank you so much for listening. And there is a list of some of the references that we've used. Thank you so much.